Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to Clan Geek. Joe, Tom, and Nick, we're sitting around this table, and we have many things to discuss. Things we got to catch up since our last podcast.
This is an update cast.
An update cast? Podcast of updates?
Technically speaking, it's the Clan Geek podcast, episode 2.
Two.
After like 3 months? Probably.
It's been a while.
But yeah, so...
let's get that list up.
Yeah, we had a list of stuff.
To keep us focused.
Yeah, because we ramble a lot.
Have bad habits.
So, Joe, I have one question to ask you.
Yes.
Where are we at?
Where are we at?
What have you been up to?
Shit.
Why have you not been making content? Where's the latest Dragon Ball Super review? We're not reviewing that last episode. It was S.
I'm sorry, but yeah, well, like Tom says, and I don't want him to influence my decision, but really, there's not much to talk about the new episode of Super. But, yeah, like, we just got a bunch of other things that we do want to talk about so that we got some content. So where are we at? Well...
I've been working my ass off. Have not had time to record things
Tom's
on my channel
worker.
Either. So, you know,
you got new videos up. You played Monster Hunter
yesterday.
Yeah. So go check that out, That Gamer Tom. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Promote yourself.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Joe,
Clan Geek, promote myself. You're already here. Awesome.
Great, fantastic.
Yeah, I have a Deviant account.
A Deviant
Tom said
art
to say
account.
that. Yes, it's Deviant Art.
You make some
good
good
shit, I make micro
man.
heroes and shit. Apparently, there's a small community who likes that type of stuff.
You still got to make one for me and my Xenoverse character as a Super Saiyan Zuri.
Zuri, as soon as you send me the pictures,
sure,
I shall make it. And I've got some requests. Some people have been actually saying, "Hey, can you make me?" And I'm like, "But I've been making Dragon Ball Z stuff."
She wants to be a Dragon Ball character.
I'm waiting for my character.
Hey, it'll happen. We'll do it. On the account, it's XPlayerMK. It's a terrible name. I was a child when I made it, and I have to suffer for my choices.
It's alright to like Mortal Kombat.
At least you don't have Game Master Nick 5.
His name really sounds like Gay Master.
Yes, but yes, get it out of your system.
Nick, how old were you when you made that?
Was I 10? I think I was close to 10 or something like that. Yeah. When did AOL come out? When was that popular?
AOL.
AOL. If you were 10,
Messenger.
I believe I was pretty much 10 when I made mine.
Yeah, that's when
also.
I made my first
like 9.
You were, you're younger than
I was
us.
a baby.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So
yeah, just check Joe's stuff out.
If you want, I'm not forcing it.
He's got some good stuff.
Black Friday's over. My nightmare month is pretty much slowed down to normal work weeks. Therefore, I'm back to making videos on my channel a little bit here and there, but I'm out of games to play, so whatever. So expect some stuff actually coming back on Clan Geek soon, which is gonna be nice. We're gonna do Dragon Ball shit. We're gonna get back to reviewing episodes probably next week, just because if the episode's a complete and total stinker, we may also skip it. But
I hope not. I really enjoy doing it.
There is going to be a robot fusion, though, so we'll get to at least see that horribly animated mess, probably. But it also might be good. I don't want to bash it till I see it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But basically, we're going to be back, and it's going to be pretty great. And yes, just to remind Joe of something, we do owe you guys some kind of stream of a certain game.
God.
So, it'll happen one day when the stars align.
I feel like nobody even gives a shit.
No one does, but I do. Joe, I care. I care. So basically, it will be for my amusement. What am I stepping on? That's what I'm stepping on. So here's what we're gonna do, Joe. This is gonna be our. I think this just should be like our New Year's video.
Oh God.
We break off the new year with a bang. We play some motherfucking Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, or another one of the horrible Dragon Ball games. We can play Dragon Ball Sagas. There's options. Joe, hold on. Let me run something. How do I stop this shit? I don't know where we were talking a second ago, but we also would like to give a little tease to the people actually watching this. We're going to be starting streaming on Wednesdays, probably next week, if not the week after. But probably next week, I think. I think next week's doable.
I think if we know, if we nail it down, check it out if you care, but, we could probably nail it down, if we know we're definitely doing it, you'll probably see a post up by Monday, Tuesday.
Throw it up on Twitter.
So follow us on Twitter if you
we have a fucking Twitter. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But, My Twitter is Top Hat Raichu. Yeah, I actually post on there fairly frequently nowadays. But yeah, we got some new shit coming. So look forward to that. And the streams are going to be archived on the channel as like cut up highlights, which will be nice. So that'll be pretty cool. It's going to be mostly Dragon Ball games. Maybe do some other stuff later on. But yeah, Dragon Ball games.
Yeah.
So that's one cool thing that we've got planning that we may or may not have just decided to do right now. Nick, where are you at?
Same boat as you, working my ass off.
We're fucking adults, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's tough. Consistency is hard when you're 3 grown men
Have a full-time job.
have full-time jobs, got mouths to feed, our own.
Just ours.
Basically. But we'll try to be a bit more consistent. I think we can do it. I believe in us, right, Joe? What is happening to Audacity?
We still think about you.
We still think about you guys. We miss you guys.
Well, yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this shit right now.
The ones that are still listening.
We know you guys like that Gohan video that we just talked out of our ass on. We know. But, all right.
It's the only one you guys liked. It's okay.
the cynicism. All right. That's basically it for the us and the channel update. Yeah. It's cool stuff happening. It's just, it's going to happen eventually. Now, Joe, I think our first stream should probably be us playing Xenoverse because that's easy to stream. Is that work for you? Is that okay to announce?
Fair.
That's okay to announce.
Xenoverse is.
We're gonna do a Xenoverse
popular.
stream. We're gonna talk Dragon Ball during the stream. Come hang out. I'll put it on my Twitter. Come hang out. That's next week. I'm locking it in. That's next week, Joe.
All right.
First stream next week, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Be there or don't. Whatever.
Be there. Or don't, whatever.
It's your call.
Choice.
Whatever you want to do. You might have something going on. But now on to the more podcasty topics of the discussion. The more just us bullshitting because we can. What were we pissed off about with microtransactions? Oh yeah, fuck EA. That's basically...
EA is a huge fuck the consumer.
Detriment to gaming as a whole. So Joe, have you actually heard the newest thing with EA post Battlefront?
Tell us.
What was I think it was the most recent one I can think of is UFC. You know UFC 3.
Yep.
So every single character in that game, according to something I read, I could be completely speaking out of my ass right now, but every character in that game is earned through a loot box. So let's say I want to be Anderson the Spider Silva, legend of mixed martial arts, and kick people in the face. It's random chance. And I could pay for more chances to unlock Anderson the Spider Silva.
Wait, so all the characters are locked?
I'm sure there's some you start with, but
everything else is locked?
Like, I didn't play the beta, but people were really complaining about the beta. And the same thing with the new Need for Speed game. Apparently your cards are powered up by something called speed cards. The name is incredible, by the way. And you can earn these speed cards through microtransactions or playing the game incredibly slowly.
Oh my god.
And so EA has gone all in on fuck the customer in all of their properties, which makes me very worried for Titanfall 3. Because I love Titanfall 2. So I think EA is going to fuck that up too. But I don't want to dwell on this. Other people have talked about this for fucking hours. Any other thoughts that we should know? Oh yeah, fuck Bright Engrams too.
Did you just insult Destiny?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Hey, I enjoyed Destiny 2 when it first came out, but it's taken a downhill turn.
Yeah, but you don't have to buy the Bright Engrams.
You don't. I mean, it's
no. I'm joking to transition the conversation into Destiny now.
Oh, I see.
Because that DLC, it's apparently so lackluster. Like, it's so standard extra $5 content is what it should have been. That locks other players out of extra content. And it's just annoying, and I don't like it. I enjoyed Destiny 2 for like a good 2 weeks. I thought it was an improvement of the first one. But it's just the fact that I have to play buy the DLC to even basically play the game now is kind of horseshit. I did have the same problem with the first Destiny towards the end. Because I did not buy Rise of Iron, and I could basically not play the game after it came out.
See, I understand. I definitely understand the whole issue with that. Like, it's a really shady tactic, but unfortunately, this isn't just Destiny that came out and did something like this. From what I understand, World of Warcraft has done this also. That's another massively popular
World of Warcraft is an MMO. But the thing is, you can absolutely play World of Warcraft up until the point where like it added all that stuff. But that's not like 10 expansions to World of Warcraft now. I don't even think you could buy a version of that game that doesn't come with some kind of the expansions.
All right,
Sure.
I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just saying that this just seems to be the way it is with MMOs or just gaming in general. Like, I mean, look, the major problem. I'm a huge Destiny fan. You know, I've put so many hours into like the first game and this one now, and I love the experience despite what all the reviewers are saying negatively about it.
No, Joe. Destiny 2 was a Game of the Year contender. This DLC basically pushed it out of contention for everybody.
And I understand why, because of the light
experience so much that people actually lowered the score, like not literally but mentally, as far as like where the game belongs. I don't hate the game.
I believe its Metacritic has the rank right now of the game is at a 1.5, so go ahead and make all your Destiny 1.5 jokes.
That's the fan bullshit. Like the actual Metacritic is like 8 something, like 83 or some shit.
Oh no, I think it was only for the DLC itself.
I didn't know it was that bad. Fuck.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, but I mean, here's the thing. As a Destiny fan, I put a lot of hours into this DLC already. I like what they've added to the game. I feel like it's addressed a couple of my issues that I've had, and I know the next DLCs are going to do that just from what I've experienced from Destiny 1.
Here's the problem though, from what I have heard, because I've not bought the DLC. People that have bought this DLC, I've seen reviews, particularly the one I'm referencing is Scale Up's review, who really went into it in a way that I fully agree with. This guy plays a lot of Destiny, he was hooked on 1, liked 1 better than 2 actually. And basically, he was extremely mad that 2 made you pay for things that were already in the first game.
Yes.
And that's bullshit.
I agree.
That is bullshit.
I agree.
There we go.
Specifically, it's the heroic strikes. They were in the main game.
I was mad they were gone in the base game. That was one of the complaints that I had. I'm pretty sure we've spoken about this, where I've been mad that because I enjoy the heroic strikes. They were a bit more challenging because the regular strikes are so fucking easy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I missed these. Where's the
challenge was missing.
Yeah.
And I think it's a shitty idea that you have to pay for it. I mean, here's the thing. For me, I'm willing to pay, so I don't see an issue. But I didn't realize until I heard like other people who didn't pay for it, specifically you too, where you can't play that content with me because you haven't bought the DLC.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword because the easy way to say is I enjoy the game, pay for it. But
if you casually play, then
it destroys the casual.
If you don't play it every time, and then you play like maybe a couple of weeks.
I would play it like once or twice a week, basically.
Then I can see it affects you.
And the thing is I can see the easy solution to the problem would have just been if you didn't upgrade. Like, we live in a day and age where they can see who bought it, who hasn't, and it should already be in there that it's like, oh well, if you haven't bought this content, this is the base game. This is the base content. You can still do this, but you're just not going to get match made with people who have the better content or the better light level. And I think that's the easiest solution.
Now, Joe,
match you with light level.
To slightly counteract a little bit. So, just to put into perspective, they did update the game, or they are updating the game soon to make it because everybody was so pissed at Destiny actually made a post on Reddit themselves saying they will fix it. Okay. So we'll get heroic strikes and all that shit that we should have had from the beginning for free again. Good. So
then the outrage is justified.
At least
it's also they got caught and we're like, oh fuck, we can't. That's the way the entire internet and myself see it. But moving on from that, though,
I just want to say real quick, I don't think that this is like a Bungie thing. I really feel like it's the studio, it's Activision that's actively trying to.
No, here's what I honestly
this money.
Now, I play devil's advocate a lot to have a more intense discussion about it.
Yeah.
I don't actually think it was anybody's fault. I think it was simply an oversight, and Destiny did not realize how mad people would be about it. Excuse me, Bungie. Okay. Like, I think that they literally did not realize like how big of a deal it was to people, and that's probably why they thought it was okay to do it. They didn't expect the outrage. They thought that, well, that's fine, you know.
Well, I would hope that was all it was.
That's what I want to believe.
Mistake.
Because Bungie's a company that I've always loved. I'm not as big a fan as Halo as you. I don't own an Xbox One, but I fucking love Halo, and like that sold me on Bungie from basically day one. Yeah. And the fact that they tried to pull something like this, if it is the slimy way that a lot of people make it out to be, I will lose respect for the company. If it was an honest mistake, it's still fucking bullshit. But honestly, the fact that they addressed it so fast means it's not as big of an issue as it could have been. Don't get me wrong, I was mad about it.
I mean, this isn't like EA level fuck up.
No, nothing can top that. That has basically made it so. But EA has also kind of fucked it for everybody else, because anytime anybody fucks up now, EA, they're basically just like, any game that has microtransactions now basically is the devil.
Yeah.
EA, in a way, ruined it for everybody. And some games microtransactions just fine. Like,
but you know what? Honestly, it was going to come down to this at some point.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It had to.
It was getting slowly more and more out of hand.
Yep. It just needed this final push to really send us all of the fans over the edge to the point where it's like, all right, now you need to fucking stop.
Yeah, but the biggest problem with Destiny 2, in my opinion, with that DLC in particular, it's $20 DLC. That is not $20 worth of content.
I don't believe it was 20.
It is 20. It's
$20.
$20.
I think it's $20.
It is
See, I'm sorry. I paid
You paid for the season pass, so
paid for like $40.
Yeah, you're locked in no matter what. So they got you by the balls. But basically, that is not $20 worth of content. I would have paid $10 for that DLC based on what I've seen from it, just because like, all right, that means I can at least still play with my friends. $20 though, that is not worth that money, and I do not want to support that. Now, if Bungie was like, you know what, we'll put it on sale for Christmas or some shit. Sure, I'll get it.
I'm sure.
I mean, well,
it just came out. Probably not.
From what I understand, the base game is on sale now for like $25.
That's bullshit. I paid full price for that fucking game like 2 months ago. But
well, you know,
regardless.
But at the same time, we also know that after this second DLC, probably by September there'll be a Game of the Year game collection type shit deal that they did with the Taken King, and you can just buy everything on one disc.
Yeah, Taken King was when I really played the first Destiny for a while.
They're definitely gonna do that.
But
and that is probably what everybody's looking for. We're looking for Taken King-sized content.
That's what I wanted. That's what we all wanted.
Not till September.
And here's the problem with that. Everybody expected that after Taken King, and I don't know how Rise of Iron was, to be honest, but I'm sure it was more sizable than those first two trashy DLC.
Here's the thing.
This was House of Wolves, but charge a Taken King price.
Okay. All right. That's a fair
Yeah, I think
critic.
I think Destiny 1, that was like 15. I think those.
It was a little cheaper. It was a little more.
I think they were 15.
But I don't want to dwell on this forever.
Well, I feel like
you've got more to talk about. You got more to say.
Fuck, I forgot what I wanted to say though. Just move on.
All right, but I don't want to dwell on Destiny forever. It tried to rectify its issue when it got caught. Basically, the fans won. I'll be playing my heroic strikes.
Oh, I remember.
For free. Joe remembered his point. What do you have to say?
So, there's supposed to be like really cool fun events from what I understood from before the game came out. Like SRL, these types of events. I'm just hoping that what happened now isn't going to be like a problem for when these events do play out. That somebody who hasn't bought Osiris or the Rasputin DLC, if the events happen after that, don't pay for this content, they won't be able to compete in the SRL, or they won't be able to do whatever other types of events.
What is SRL?
SRL was a Sparrow Racing League.
I remember that.
It's like a racing thing.
it was pretty cool.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it, but I'm just saying is like, will
there
be a light level
Joe,
thing where
you
you're locked
cannot
out?
play Trials of the Nine without Curse of Osiris?
Well, that's a fair. I figure that.
Someone's phone's going off. Oh. But basically, if you're playing, if the only way you can play Trials of the Nine now is if it happens to not have a Curse of Osiris map in the rotation for it. So let's say, for example, there's 10 maps in the game, 2 of them are Curse of Osiris. You have to win 9 games in a row.
Yeah.
Basically, it'll let you play 7 of those games, but if one of those maps happens to be Osiris, it's gonna be like, nope, just not.
Nope, that's it.
But
Bye.
I think that but the fact that they said that, excuse me, losing my fucking way of talking. The fact that they announced that in the way they did probably means that they're going to have a set rotation for the maps where they'll make sure that every now and then they'll have one that's not. But even still, I don't want to talk about Destiny forever. But the one thing I will say, I did not buy the DLC. I bought the DLC weapons from Xur. And it made me feel very happy.
You were telling me about that, and I was like, that's
I could use them. I tried it out. I was like, wow, this is... I went into fucking Crucible. I was like, wow, this is overpowered. And it was great.
Yes, this week the Prometheus lens was a Xur thing.
Joe, I showed you that fucking post on Reddit, right? With the guy who was like, do it, you fucking tentacle-faced motherfucker.
Oh,
if you sell Prometheus lens, I'll tape my beard to my mouth.
Or some shit.
I'll shave my head and
tape it to my beard. and then Bungie responds on Twitter, wow, it looks like he's got it. The good thing nobody made a bet. No, he's like, if you made a bet that Xur wouldn't hold it, ball's in your court now. And that was fucking great. That was one good thing to come out of this DLC.
Yeah, that was very entertaining.
Let's move on from Destiny. I want to talk about the game of the year discussion.
Yes.
My channel is more gaming related. It's actually entirely gaming related. So I've played pretty much everything worth playing this year, with a couple exceptions. So I'm gonna go last. Nick, what is your game of the year this year? I know you've barely played shit.
I've barely played shit.
But you have every game.
He has every. This dude, he's got the backlog of all backlogs.
Almost every game.
So out of what you've played, what's your game of the year, Nick? Have you finished anything? He hasn't finished a fucking game this year.
Get back to me. I feel like I have, but I gotta.
He hasn't finished.
I gotta. Yeah.
I only played Destiny.
That's all you've played?
I know that's all I played too, but I'm trying to think of something that's not Destiny.
What is wrong with you people?
I mean, Cuphead I play, and
you've played Destiny. You played Super Mario World for that video we didn't do.
But Super Mario World is not this year's game.
It could be your game of the year.
Super Mario World.
Yeah. Not Odyssey.
Tom.
I don't know. What
I actually did get to play Odyssey. I have a sister who bought a Switch, and she had Odyssey, and I played it.
It's super fun. It's super fun.
I got bored of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you play it like from scratch, or did you continue her save?
No, I played my own profile.
Oh, dude. Explain. How'd you get bored of it?
Just
because I have ways I can agree with that, but I'm curious what you say first.
See, here's the thing. I remember playing like older Mario games, and like once I'm sitting down playing it, you cannot take the controller from me. And with this one, I was perfectly fine with my sister having to leave and taking the Switch with her.
How far did you get? That could be part of it.
I believe I was on the second level. The second level. The ghost level is the first one, right? Then there's the dinosaur island.
Those are both the tutorial.
Okay. And then you finish that, and you go to the next level.
That's the Sand World?
I believe it was the Sand World. I was there for a very little bit of time before I was like, I want to go back to the Dinosaur Island.
Okay, so Dinosaur Island sucks by
all
comparison.
All moons.
Here's the first two worlds are tutorial worlds. Until you beat the game and go back there's nothing to do there, really. So you didn't really get into the game yet.
I guess not, but I mean...
Because Mario Odyssey, I agree with you. I got bored at parts, but I'll get into it later. You can finish first.
Okay. Yeah, it was just... I don't know. There's a charm missing. Like, I'd rather go back and play Super Mario 64.
See, Joe, the problem is you didn't get far enough to say that. Like, Mario Odyssey is a game that I loved most of the time. Mm-hmm. People talk about how the post-game of that game is so great and how there's so much to do after you beat the game. I disagree with that.
Yeah, I can't imagine it being, like, crazy fun.
Don't get me wrong. There's a lot to do, sure, but it's not stuff that fucking matters. Yeah. Mario, it got banjo-ified is the word I'm seeing thrown around. I completely agree.
Banjo-ified?
There's too much to collect. There's too many things to find. Mario has always been about 120 stars or like it was like that. An important task that you have to do. But Mario Odyssey, it has that. The first time you play the game, the first run through, it's more straightforward. Like it's just find a certain amount of things you can move on. It's more like Mario 64. But after that, like after you beat like the 6-hour game, because you can beat it that quickly if you're half decent at video games. All these other things open up, and some of them are fun, some of them are not. Like a lot of these like stars or moons, whatever the fuck they are, all these moons you can find. You can just literally walk in the fucking place. Oh, this fucking floor is glowing.
That's my
ass stomp on it.
Yeah.
Or I'm just walking around. What's in this barrel? Oh, a moon.
Yeah,
at the same time, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could do this fucking long, crazy task, get the same fucking reward. So that's my problem with Mario Odyssey. There is too much to do, and not enough that's actually meaningful content. And a lot of people will disagree with me. A lot of people will probably give it Game of the Year because, it's great. I love Mario Odyssey. The fact, like, the hat possession mechanic is so fun to me. Like, there is nothing more fun than going to the fucking water world, possessing one of those octopus dudes, and just flying around on water powers. That's awesome. My problem with it, though, is, as I said, there's too much content that's not meaningful. Mm-hmm. But that's Mario Odyssey. It's still in my top 10 of the year by far. Like it is still an X. Like I think it's number 4 on my list. I already forgot my list to be honest with you. But it's definitely up there. It is a really really good game.
Okay.
With issues.
Yeah, like you said, it's just like you could sniff air and boom, you get a moon. Like it's like so fucking easy.
That is my problem.
The other part of like if you've played a Mario game or if you've gamed as long as I have. You know, like, if I if I spend enough time here, I could find everything. So that's what I did, and I moved on to the second world, and I came back to the first so I can complete it. Should I be doing that? I don't think I should be.
You shouldn't.
But that's probably why I feel like I kind of burnt myself out on the first level, because I'm like, all right, if this is what I have to expect in the next level.
See, that is a way to play the game. But the funnest part of that game is the monster possession and seeing all these other worlds. The fact that you spent so much time in the first two, honestly, boring worlds, like tutorial worlds, are unfortunate because they could have solved your experience with the game. It's the best way to play it is just play it straight through, get as many moons as you have to, move on. And just because the boss fights, the major story modes of that game are so good that they make it fully worth it. Joe, there's a Dark Souls boss in Mario Odyssey.
I've seen.
Oh, you've seen it already. Excellent.
Yeah.
It has one of the best ending sequences of any video game ever. Have you seen this too?
I've seen it.
It is so good.
No, those are moments to look forward to.
And Joe, those moments, there's at least one moment like that per world. The main moons all end with a crazy one like that. New Donk City, one of the best ending sequences in any video game ever.
I have not seen that.
It is. I could show you right now if Nick doesn't mind the spoiler.
No, I do.
But it is fantastic. It is so fucking good, and it's a great throwback. So Mario Odyssey has a lot of great moments, but yeah, it just has the issue of being overpacked. At the same time though, there is a lot of fun to be had. Like, I love the fucking stupid mini games, like the jump rope, the volleyball, the Koopa races are some of the most fun you could have in that game. Like, there's a lot of fun to be had, but it is not the second coming of Christ like some people claim it is.
Yeah. That's my thing. Like, I don't think it's like that. It's not like, I mean, it's very close to Mario 64, very influenced by it, but
Joe, wait till you beat the game. Mario Odyssey, I really, really love the game. I would honestly say it's a 10 in a year full of 10s, though, is my other problem. There's too much. We're not spoiled for choice this year, Joe. Is it my turn to talk about my games of the year now? Because I think I've actually played the most games.
We went from like, oh, what's your game of the year, to trash Super Mario Odyssey.
No, we were not trashing Mario Odyssey. We had genuine gripes with that game. It's still a fantastic game.
So, what would be my game of the year?
What is your game of the year, Joe? If you say fucking Destiny 2. No, that's fully valid. If it's the game you enjoyed the most, it's valid. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I
had a ton of fun playing it with you. Like, I would still say Destiny's maybe not my top 10, but it's still a game I enjoy playing.
I'm open to like whatever the game of the year it turns out to be, whatever it is. But I have a lot of fun playing Destiny. I can't not say that. I played Cuphead also, so Cuphead also stands out.
You did enjoy Cuphead that much?
I
still have not played it. I do really want to play it. I was actually gonna buy it on Steam.
I don't think it's game of the year worthy though. That's my thing.
I'm surprised.
It's a lot of fun.
Is it too hard?
Is it the Dark Souls?
It's meant to be hard.
Is it the Dark Souls?
It's meant to be hard.
Is it Dark Souls of platformers?
That's up to you. If you decide to play it and you say it's Dark Souls, then
it's a joke, Joe.
Whatever.
The joke is that everything is Dark Souls. But that's fair. So Destiny 2 is yours?
That's for me.
Nick?
My personal.
I know.
I have to say Destiny 2 also, only because I play it a lot.
Are we a Destiny channel?
Ladies and gentlemen, do you see what I'm dealing with? So I've actually played video games this year. So this is a hard year to narrow down. I wanted to make a whole video on my channel going through all my games. In fact, I still might. So this is a spoiler. Maybe I don't know. Maybe not a spoiler.
So, well, you're gonna probably make a list, right?
Well, I might make a list.
So
yeah.
Just call one game.
No. Because that's the spoiler. I'm gonna talk about all the games that I think are worth talking about right now. So, my game of the year is not The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I know.
Gasp!
Man, you were really like hard on that game. Not hard, like you were really.
I enjoyed the fuck out of what it tried to do. My problem with The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, it did so many things great, but fucked up at being a Zelda game. So, for example, it had a really, really great story setup, but the story payoff, boring. Boring. Like, Zelda herself, Link, please, Ganon is such a douche. Kill him for me. Like, that's the extent of the story.
It's a really bad voice acting.
Yeah, and I think the voice actress is fine. I think Nintendo told her to sound like that, and that's weird. But that's not the only thing. Like, the story itself, it's told entirely through flashbacks, which the flashbacks are enjoyable. They show a story that could have been great if it was presented better. But if you watch all the flashbacks in order, you get a decent story. That's fine. But the fact that I personally, my first time playing the game, I missed every single one of them. I missed all of them.
How?
I don't know where the fuck they are. I gotta look them up. Like you have to go to a specific spot to find this memory which tells you the story. That's fine if the game gives you a better hint of where they are. They give you a picture of where they are, and you don't know how important these are. Like I thought there was gonna be like, oh, Link remembers something. Here's an item or something. I didn't know they were important until after I've already beaten the game. So this could be a bit of my fault. But the story itself is not gripping in the way Zelda story is. Like, it's an open world. The game is designed like an open world. You can do anything, whatever the fuck you want, which is great for gameplay in some ways, but it's bad for a story. So, for example, if you do things out of order, they can't really make these individual, like let's say there's 4 major areas of the game. Mm-hmm. They can't make these experiences feel unique because they have to assume that there's a chance you're doing that one first.
Wow, okay.
So basically, they all play out exactly the same. You're doing different things, but the dialogue, the story options, like everything they tell you is almost note for note exactly the same. The 4 main dungeons are all extremely simple, almost exactly the same. The 4 bosses in these dungeons, among the worst bosses in Zelda history, not by idea, by execution, because they all look almost exactly the same. They all fight very similarly, and they're not hard. They're so easy. So the main thing that attracts me to a Zelda game is a good story and great dungeon design. This game had neither of those. It did excel in a couple of things. There was a flawless exploration. Like, if you want to just get lost in a world, Breath of the Wild is perfect. Like, if you don't, like, the dungeons took a hit from the open world design, sure, but the open world is done better than any other open world in any game I've ever seen. So, you know, see those mountains, you can go there? Mm-hmm. That's never more true than Zelda Breath of the Wild. You can climb anything you want. You can fucking go fight Ganon right off the bat, which I have done and succeeded in, finally. You can do whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want. The DLC they added to it was kind of trash, to be honest with you. It's not great. Wow. But at the same time, there's no denying the game did something special, though. It's changed up a formula that's been around for 20 years. It did what it set out to do well, while other things suffered. It's an excellent game, but not an excellent Zelda game, which is my problem with it. I much prefer Ocarina of Time. I much prefer Wind Waker. Even Twilight Princess. Not so much Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword, it could hide that in a corner somewhere. But Breath of the Wild, it did a lot of things that I enjoyed, but not the things I expect from a Zelda game. And that is why it is not my game of the year. Mario Odyssey, we've already talked about why that's not my game of the year. But to talk about another one that's that could potentially have been my game of the year.
The Mummy.
That game was awesome, actually. Yeah. We gotta play that again. We gotta keep playing that. But I forgot about that. Crocus. But no, not The Mummy. I don't think either of you have played this game. Nier Automata. This fucking game.
Never heard of it.
Okay, so you know Square Enix, Final Fantasy guys.
Okay.
So they have like basically they made a game a long time ago called Nier, which is basically, long story short, it's basically like a like dark, existential, deep fucking game that had shitty combat, so nobody played it.
No.
But it had great music, great story, great everything. And then out of fucking nowhere, they were just like, well, you know, we're gonna make a sequel to this game. It was announced like 2 years ago, and then it came out this year. The story in this game is so good that it actually was. I actually had feels by the end of it, like bro, I was actually like, holy shit. I cannot talk about it without spoiling. I really do not want to spoil this story at all. But long story short, you're androids, humanity's stuck on the moon, and you're basically doing their bidding. But then it takes all these crazy twists and turns. And this game does an open world as well, but with a good story. The combat is done by Platinum motherfucking Games. Platinum Games of Bayonetta fame. Mm-hmm. They did a whole bunch of other great shit. But Platinum... Oh my god. We got phones going off. But Platinum Games made a great combat system. Yeah, that's what it is. Platinum Games made a great fucking combat system in a game that's basically an RPG with a great... It's just so fun to play. The story really makes you think. The characters are enthralling. And of course, you cannot mention Nier Automata without mentioning 2B's ass. Google it.
Okay.
It's a joke. It's a joke for the fans.
Okay.
Play this game. It is probably my number 2 or 3. It is one of the... It's another game. It's another 10 in a year of 10s. I enjoyed Nier Automata better than Mario Odyssey, better than Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Moving on to my number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
Horizon did what Zelda did, or Zelda tried to do, better in every way. I'm going to get some hate for this. I'm a huge Zelda fan. I wanted Breath of the Wild to be the better game, and for a while I thought it was. And then I went back and played Horizon, and I was like, oh.
Oh, shit.
Basically,
Bite that tongue.
they have the same general idea of, open world. You could basically do whatever you want, but Horizon manages to tell a compelling story at the same time. Horizon does not sacrifice a really great story for an open world design. So because of that, and of course the world in Horizon is so unique with the robot dinosaurs that once I found out you can fucking control and make your own, I basically had an orgasm. It's really, really fun. So you get great gameplay, you get a great world, you get a really good story, you get a cool character. Aloy is awesome. I love Aloy. You even get great DLC. That DLC was so fucking good. And you get a game that, by all intents and purposes, should be Game of the Year. And then we've got Persona 5. The best RPG in probably a decade. Yeah, Persona 5 is that good. It's a game that's hard to approach, but, dude, it's so fucking good. So basically, you're essentially Phantom Thieves. So you're basically a gentleman thief stealing the heart of douchebags. That's the ultimate way to summarize it. So basically, I'm going to go into a little bit in the beginning to help Joe understand it. He probably has never seen this game before in his life, or what he has seen has probably been High School Simulator.
High School Simulator.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, the game starts out, and there's my phone going off now. The game starts out, and you're introduced to this douchebag, who is a teacher of the volleyball team. You later find out that he's abusing his students, and you're like, oh, we got to do something about this. Also, while you find that out, you get these powers called Persona, which are basically your inner self controlled by a mask. They're really cool. And then basically, you're like, we're going to do something about this motherfucker. Because Kamoshida is he's a child abuser, pedophile. He's got it coming. Mm-hmm. And then we steal his heart. He goes in a coma, and then he basically turns himself in. But then it goes on like that. But there's an overarching thing going on the whole time that goes on throughout the whole game. But the game is so good all the way throughout, like for a 100-hour game. Like it never lets up. None of the content feels like filler. It's all so well done. Like it's basically this type of RPG perfected. They didn't try to change it up. They tried to just perfect what they already had. And the turn-based combat is better than any other game I've ever played. So turn-based gets a lot of slack these days for being slow. Persona 5 is not slow. It's the fastest turn-based combat you've ever fucking seen. There's guns. There's fucking crazy demon powers. There's cool characters. Dude, just play Persona 5. It's hard really to talk about it without spoiling things, but the ending of that game is perfect. And, dude, Persona 5. Oh, God. Game of the year. For me.
Okay.
Persona 5 wins.
So Persona 5, number 1, Game of the Year.
Yep, same for Amanda. We're a very good couple. She fully agrees.
Okay.
Let's talk about next year, Joe. What are we playing next year?
Games for the future. What is coming out next year?
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter comes out January?
January.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World and Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yes.
Dude, this is a good January.
No, they both come out in January.
Yeah. So long story short, Joe. Those streams on Wednesdays, it's going to be like a full month of just Dragon Ball Fighters. So Dragon Ball Fighters and Monster Hunter World come out the same day. And those are probably the two games I'm the most excited for next year. Aside from the Switch stuff like Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon.
Whoa.
Pokemon Switch, Joe.
You're calling it?
That they're both coming out that year?
That there's going to be Pokemon on
They
the
said
Switch?
it.
When did they say this?
E3.
Alright, we're getting off topic.
You're like, what? I gotta get a fucking Switch now?
I know I have to get a Switch.
Yeah, even having to get one for a while.
But yeah, no, I mean, right off the bat, what I'm looking forward to is those two games. Like,
yeah. Those are the two games that could potentially take over the channel. Monster Hunter World is taking over my channel. I know that. Joe, feel free to join me on my channel over there.
Oh, we will. There will be a lot of cross.
There's going to be a lot of hunting. Joe, have you seen my video on the beta?
Yes.
Does that game now is lit as fuck.
No,
to quote the kids on this one.
To quote the kids,
that's exactly what I say.
That's why I was really upset that I didn't get a chance to play the beta with you, because you had left it off in your channel that you were probably going to do another Monster Hunter.
I didn't know it was over in like 6 hours when I was recording.
That really sucks.
When I recorded that video, it was over in like a couple hours. I was like, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I see the tweet and they're like, "Thanks for playing the Monster Hunter." I'm like, "What? It's over? I just downloaded it."
Yeah, I was like all ready to go. Like I was gonna go home, download this after this podcast, and do something with you. But yeah, I'm really upset that it ended. So yeah, now I'm looking a lot forward to the game. You really sold me on the beta.
It's so good, dude. I cannot wait to destroy a giant fucking monster. Like, personally, here's my exact move I'm planning to do. I want to jump off a cliff, get a monster as he's climbing the cliff, destroy him, murder the monster, carve out its insides, make a sick-ass sword from it, and then go kill his children. That is my exact plan for Monster Hunter.
There was a part in the beta.
Another monster fight the other two monsters.
That's also amazing.
That shit was pretty interesting. Yeah, no, I could totally imagine like us just setting a trap for like whatever monster we're hunting. Like in the beta, you had the dinosaur thing that was running away, climbing the fucking vines, trying to get away.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
it.
And the cool thing about that, he was limping while he was doing that, so he was like barely getting up to it. Was sick.
Like he was having a hard time.
Oh my god.
I could just imagine if like we set up the trap where like you're fucking him up, he's running, and I'm already at the top of that fucking thing. Just jump down, fuck him up, and totally screw him
No,
up.
even better, Joe. You could plant the fucking like a net to trap the monster and hold it there in place, right? And then you can put a bunch of bombs in there too. So then when the monster jumps up there, he thinks he's away. He's like, "Oh, I finally lost him. Oh, fuck!" Gets in the trap, blow that motherfucker up, launch him down the fucking cliff, and then I'll climb the cliff, jump down on the motherfucker, fucking. I'm very hyped for this game. I am so hyped for Monster Hunter World. Oh my god, I got that out of my system.
My other favorite part from your gameplay was like your cat person. What you named him Cat.
Oh yeah,
hey, he's riding the fucking dinosaur.
I forgot that could happen. At first, I didn't. Tommy was So. No, I was Tommy was So, and the cat was Lisa.
Oh shit!
I did that at first, and then it made me rename the character when I joined it. But that's what I was doing at first.
Tommy was So with Lisa,
and the cat was Lisa. And I'm like, "You're tearing me apart, Lisa." Speaking of Tommy was So, get a little bit off topic. Tommy was So is Twitch streaming now.
Is he really?
Yes.
He might
that is
as well.
that is amazing to me.
Yo.
But all right, no. Monster Hunter, bro, it's gonna be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Ball Fighters, it's a fighting game. I play a lot of
wait.
fighting games, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get so good at that you're never gonna want to play it again.
Yeah.
Or I'll teach, or we'll get good together.
Yeah, it'll probably be like you'll just rape me for a couple days, and then I'll be like, I'm done playing with you, and you'll be like, but Joe, I'll teach you how to play.
I'll teach you how to play. We'll learn how to play together. I've never played the game. I played it for 5 minutes at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I did beat Nick though.
Of course you did.
Of course you did.
It's arcade.
You destroyed me in...
It's arcade style, and I was like,
you destroyed me in Street Fighter. You destroyed me in Xenoverse. Mortal Kombat is
Injustice.
The line goes on and on. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, I really love Mortal Kombat. Is there a Mortal Kombat coming out?
No.
No. Okay. Anyway, keep going.
I mean, there might actually no. Next year sounds like a Mortal Kombat year.
It probably will get like announced that they'll be making it. Like
very likely. Very likely. I mean, I loved Injustice. I'm cool. I'm cool.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, I was planning on doing some content for that shit, but we'll see if people actually want to talk about it.
Well, maybe if one person watches the video and comments, we'll know. But
yeah, but again, so future Mortal
future Mortal Kombat games,
future games that we're excited for.
What else is coming out next year? Like the Switch that has me excited, sure. And God of War, fucking God of War. Though.
God of War is coming out. Yes.
Nick,
yes.
For old time's sake, I'm gonna need you to run out of your house in a blind panic when you beat it in God mode.
You want me to beat that in God mode?
Yes, or Chaos mode, Hades mode, whatever.
I only beat God the hardest difficulties in.
I know, Nick, but I remember we were fucking like 12, and you were so excited about it when me and when.
Yeah, do you know I busted hours trying to beat that?
I know.
On God mode, it was hard. It was really, really hard.
I know. No, I'm just saying for like.
And I did it.
It's been a decade, Nick. You got to come out and be like, yo, and just scream at the top of your lungs that you beat it when you beat it. Because I know you're gonna beat it.
I almost gave up. I was up to the final boss, and I almost gave up because they thought the. No, the Ares wasn't too tough. I've learned that, but the 1,000 Kratos fight, I almost gave up. It was so hard.
I believe it.
And then I had to figure out a little trick. And then I figured it out. And then I had to do the final fight with Ares. That wasn't hard. Just gotta remember not to pause the game, because I don't know if you knew that. If you pause the game to your weapons, and then when you did something with Ares, it would freeze. The
Oh.
game would freeze. So it would be
Oh.
really bad. Yeah.
All right,
So
so
this was in the day before patches came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
the fucking dark
I
times.
never, and I didn't know that, but I never paused the game. So yeah, that shit happened.
Well, all right. So God of War is one game we're excited for.
So so now this 1,000 Kratos thing, what's that?
That was
It's like
that was in the first one.
The boss before the final boss, basically.
Yeah, when you had to fight your clones,
Oh,
you had
I
to
don't
protect your
remember.
family from the clones.
I remember this
On
actually.
God
yeah.
mode, it was brutal
because
your family would die so quickly.
I think
Oh,
you should,
wow.
They can
you should-
gang. They can
you
gang
should, you
rape.
should stream God
They
mode.
can gang rape your family, and they'll die in like 6 hits.
wow.
And I just had to keep watching it over and over.
Now we know how Kratos went crazy.
And then when you do that, you get a cutscene where Kratos just gives up and then gets slaughtered by the clones.
Oh,
Shit.
wow.
And you had to watch it.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that shit.
He just gives up,
I
and you had to watch, and I had to
Never-
watch it over and over and over and over, and I was like,
you forgot to say and over.
and over.
and I was just like, oh my god!
It sounded like
I was
you actually
I
went
almost
insane.
gave up. I was like, I can't do this.
But you
This
did
is-
it.
This is like impossible.
Never
Yeah,
say can't.
I've never played God of War after I've beaten it. Like I've never gone.
like-
in-
I didn't.
I thought you were about to end that.
thought
I thought you were
God
about to end that with a period.
I've never
Like, I don't know if,
played
like-
God of War. No,
I know Nick did because I was like, what?
God of War 2,
No, like, after
I beat
I
it on Titan. There was one part that was really hard. That was
Hey, Nick.
kind of like that part where you had to protect the translator. And-
Remember when we went back after like 6 years and beat God of War Ascension? And I don't even remember the ending of it.
I think
that's because we didn't play. We played it. We almost got to the end.
And we stopped
Then we
playing it.
just stopped.
And then like
years
6
later-
years later,
I was like, let's do it, and we did it on my birthday.
happy birthday.
I think it was my birthday. Yeah, I was like,
I think it was
the
then.
day after. I was like, oh, let's fucking do this, and yeah, we beat it.
Nick, we should play the new God of War together.
We should.
I think that'll be fun.
I think that's what we should all do.
That'll
then-
be the Wednesday stream.
Yeah, right.
The entirety of God of War.
Entirety of God of
It's
War.
a 30-hour game.
Well,
Next year.
lots of sessions.
And for
Sure.
next year. you
But
probably-
Maybe.
I think
I'll
like
think
the
about
only
it.
time I've ever played like
If Kratos can go Super Saiyan, sure. That's the rule.
Kratos go Super Saiyan.
If Kratos can go Super Saiyan, he would look exactly the same.
Yeah,
Get blonde
it'd just be
eyeballs.
and then for future games, you're gonna probably kill me. Please, let there be Kingdom Hearts 3 finally.
Nappa. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they actually
Please.
said
They-
2018.
They did, but I'm
You
not.
don't believe it?
I don't believe it yet because
It is a Tetsuya Nomura game.
I don't believe it yet, but please let
I
there
think
be,
it's real.
Please
I-
let there
I
be
think-
a date. I'm waiting to play this fucking game.
But if
I-
they gave the release, that should be it.
I think
anything.
Square Enix said they gave it 2018.
I know they
They
did the
said-
date
but no,
after,
I-
when they released
Nick,
Toy
I
Story.
think that Square Enix gave a hard deadline. If that game doesn't come out that day, someone is losing their job. That is what I honestly believe.
I know.
I think it's coming out in
It
2018.
has to.
The current rumor is actually like March to May 2018.
Oh my god.
That's what people are currently thinking.
I don't know. I feel like
How long has this game been in like actual development?
Since
Very long time.
since not 2.8 the game, the 3DS game. What was the 3DS game? Since Dream Drop Distance has been
yeah.
officially in production.
I think
So that's like 5 years.
What?
It's like
Yeah.
5 years. It's not too bad.
Okay,
it
that's...
was. Yeah.
But it was teased for a long
Yeah.
time.
They
It was
teased
teased
They
since
teased
2.
like every
Well, yeah,
year.
2
Every
ended it,
year
like-
they
like
teased a
Banjo
little. They
Tooie.
teased a little thing. That's it.
2 ended it with a teaser of Birth by Sleep, but everybody thought it was Kingdom Hearts 3. But basically, people wanted a real Kingdom Hearts 3, and they kept getting side story after
Yeah.
side
right.
story.
It was.
after side
Yeah.
story.
It went back, middle, back, and then we went a little bit forward, but it wasn't 3, and then yeah.
So this
But
is-
it's real. It's happening, and it looks great. So I agree with you, Nick. That's a good pick.
Hope.
It's a good
Oh,
pick for the list.
I know. 'Cause I usually talk about it sometimes. They're like you're gonna get overhyped with this game, and you're gonna be
No.
almost
I believe it's real. It exists. It's gonna happen.
I
I
know.
believe.
Is it gonna be a disappointment?
Oh,
Yeah.
that would suck.
I don't know.
don't think so.
I
I,
don't
think,
think
it
so.
might not be as good as we're expecting because
I
the
wonder what-
expectations are way too high.
I am wonder what Square Enix is gonna do.
I think it's going to be like the Final Fantasy 15 situation. People will hate on it because it's been in development for 10 years and the game released incomplete. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have a similar situation where the game is not going to be well received at first, and then it'll grow on people. At the same time, though, it also could launch and be perfect. It could be everything we want it to be when it comes out. Who knows?
Or they
We
put
have
microtransactions in there.
Oh, there's going to be microtransactions. Have you seen Final Fantasy 15?
I won't be surprised.
I got the season pass of Final Fantasy 15 for free, so I don't complain about that.
We'll
I actually just played the newest. That's another thing I've been playing, Joe. I actually did just play the newest of Final Fantasy 15.
I just wonder.
Dude, it's so good. That newest DLC, a $5 DLC, is better than all of Curse of Osiris.
I just wonder if they're gonna do DLC for Kingdom Hearts
They will.
3.
It's
No,
the
I wonder
easiest.
if- no, I
it's
wonder
the easiest thing.
If they do it, how are they gonna do it?
It's the easiest thing.
what do you
Oh, a
think
new
it would be?
planet appeared.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Something's going on. Oh, Xemnas is
That's what I
back.
was thinking.
That's
Well,
it.
he can
That
come
is
back.
ex-
He fucking can come back.
I know, but that is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to be like, oh, a new world has appeared. Let's see what's happening over there.
The world, yeah, I could see the worlds or.
I wouldn't even be opposed to that as long as it's priced appropriately. Like if it's like $5 like for a
fine.
new world with like maybe 2-3 hours of content,
Fine.
fully okay with
If you
that.
give me
If it's
$10
$20 for an hour of content, that's a
You
problem.
better. It better be a big ass planet, and it better be a lot of shit to do in
Now,
that planet.
Nick,
if it's $20.
Nick, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Do you want multiplayer?
I enjoyed it when it was. Remember when we did it?
I would like
in
it.
Birth by Sleep. If it was,
That's
if it's
exact-
like
that is-
Birth by
that is
Sleep,
exactly what I was thinking. I
If-
would love it if they did
if
something
it has
just
the Mirage Arena again,
bring back the
bring
Mirage
that back.
Arena.
I don't really care too much about that Monopoly.
No, fuck
game.
that shit.
That Monopoly game. I don't really care about that.
I don't remember why we played the living shit out of that. Was there something in there that we could only get from that game or something? Was that it?
There were some.
I can't imagine why else. We were going for 100% completion.
Yeah,
I remember.
You had to play and win the game at least once
With every character.
with every
In every world.
Yeah, that was. Like,
Don't bring back the dice game. Bring back the
No,
Mirage
don't
Arena.
no, you don't. You don't have to bring back Monopoly.
But that's a good pick.
Yeah, bring back Mirage.
Mirage Arena was good. In fact, just patch in the multiplayer to the 2.8. I'll be happy.
I would
2.5.
be. I was
I'd be okay with
hoping
that.
for that. Too bad they don't.
I don't know why they didn't. Maybe it's just because the system's a little different, or they thought people wouldn't care.
Yeah, but like.
But
you didn't think
we
I didn't
can't.
notice?
Oh, we noticed.
I noticed.
We saw. But are there any other games fully worth talking about that come out next year? I'm drawing a blank right now. I know there's others. I just can't think
Not
of it.
that I can think of. Unless I look up.
No.
But
Of course, Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 3, excuse me, the possibility of Bloodborne 2. All the shit that was announced at TGS. Fucking Death Stranding is not coming out next year, but I'm still hyped for it. The chance, the small possibility of that Final Fantasy VII remake, but I doubt that. I highly doubt we're going to see that next year. There's no way. This is Square Enix
I keep
we're talking
forgetting
about.
about that.
Well, it was canceled and restarted just this year. So
Wait,
it's,
it did get canceled?
yeah, like word came out. Apparently, Square Enix hired people that did the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Yeah.
Square Enix hired them to remake Final Fantasy VII.
That's a fighting game, though, isn't it?
Well, they did other stuff too, but that's the most recent example of their shit. But Square Enix wanted them to do it. Square Enix decided to apparently they weren't keeping a really good track of how the game was going, so they checked in it for like a month or two or something. And were like, "What the fuck is this? This is trash! Get rid of it! Stop everything!" And they canceled everything and brought it in house, and they're basically just literally restarted from scratch. So this game they teased like 3-4 years ago now is back to the drawing board. Very Final Fantasy 15 like.
Yes, I've seen that.
So I'm sure it's not gonna be.
We're not going to see it for a while.
It's not.
We are not going to see it for a while.
Next year.
It's 2019 is possible. 2020's.
They didn't show anything this year. Right?
No, they showed maybe a screenshot or two here and there, but that's about it.
Right.
How do you feel about the fact that they took out the what is it, like, taking turns to fight for like the 15?
Honestly, it might come back because the game just got restarted. So who the fuck knows? I prefer it the old way.
I think that's what people think. Like,
really?
Here is exactly what I would like.
Because from what I just recently saw, it was like 15.
I mean, there's nothing recent. That's like 4 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's old. That's old footage. Maybe like 2-3 years ago, 4 years. I don't know.
What was I watching?
There's no recent footage of that game for like past 2 years. But I'm perfectly fine with an action-based combat system if they do it well. 15 was almost good, but the fact that you literally are invincible hurt it. Like, there was no risk of death in that game. If they can make it challenging, I'm okay with it. But I still would just prefer it's a remake. Remake the game. Just don't change that much. But best case scenario, give us an option. If I want to play turn-based, let me play turn-based. If I want to play action, let me play action.
That should be an option.
Like, let me slow it down if I want to. If I want to play Devil May Cry, I'll play Devil May Cry.
I'm wondering what they're gonna do with how they're gonna change it. I feel like they're gonna change it. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, the combat they showed was more action based. It was basically Final Fantasy 15's combat or like Kingdom Hearts combat.
I didn't play 15. I know I should have, but I watched you play it, and it looked fun.
The combat, it's okay, but it is way too easy. Like, if you hold square, you're invincible in that game. Nothing can kill you.
I'm sure they're not gonna make
square is both block and dodge.
Square.
No.
And if you hold square, he dodges everything. And of course, your character is like anime superpowers. So he basically phases through things. So he's literally invincible. And if you run out of MP, you'll get hit, but you're not gonna run out.
I'm sure they'll make a few fixes.
Well, all the DLCs had better combat. The DLCs actually did it way better. But the fact that the fucking main character was OP the entire game eliminated all challenge, and they never added a hard mode to Final Fantasy 15. But in 7, Cloud does not have mystical teleportation powers. No. So they have no excuse to make you invincible. So if they do what they did in 15, do it a little better. If they do it, here's what they do. If they do it like current 15, Final Fantasy 15 complete after all the DLCs out, because there's a big update to that game that actually changed the combat a lot. So now you can change your party member anytime you want. You can never control your party before just last week. So the fact you can change your party members actually changes the game a lot because they all play completely different. Mm-hmm. So if they do something like that in 7 and don't make Cloud invincible, I'm okay with it. If they give me an option, that's the ideal scenario for me though. I don't mind slowing it down because I like turn-based combat simply because you can do larger than life shit more frequently. So for example, in Final Fantasy 15, there's like 2 or 3 like giant like world taking over bosses, like big motherfuckers. In Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, that's like every other boss in the game takes up the whole fucking screen and is really menacing and intense and shit. That is just not there in Final Fantasy 15. But there's some big dudes, but there's not fucking humongous dudes like there are in the older games. And I miss that like dude against Titan, you know what I mean? Like the small dude taking down the big like David and Goliath situation, which all the older games kind of seemed like. Mm-hmm. But the fact that it's 15 basically conformed to a more everybody's got to basically be around the same size as you, with the exception of a few key bosses. It lost something in that like epic scale, but the bosses that it did have that were like that big, huge shit were the best parts of the game. Yeah. So like, if they had the money to make every major boss fight like those 3, sure, fuck it, but they can't. So I prefer. I think 10's probably the best with it because every other boss in 10 is fucking like towering and gigantic and awesome, but it doesn't feel like you're just fighting a dude. But that's my 2 cents. Just give me an option. That's it. Just give me an option or do it well. Okay. I don't think anything else is coming out in 2015. 2015.
Wow, we went back.
Damn, I am old. Damn. Fuck, but I mean, I wouldn't mind an N64 classic if that happens next year. That'd be pretty cool. It's not a game, but I'd want it.
I mean, at this point, it seems like
that's pretty likely.
Yeah.
That Switch Virtual Console will be way better though. I'd rather just play N64 games on my Switch.
The Virtual Switch.
No, you don't like just bring back put all the games on the Switch.
Yeah, at this point, why there's no real reason to bring back the NES, the SNES.
Well, they're collector's items now.
That's pretty much it.
Where's Super Mario Maker?
If I want to play
I'd rather play them. I could play all that shit on my Wii if I really want to.
Yeah.
Where's Super Mario Maker Switch?
Dude, that has to happen.
That would.
Dude,
they're gonna make a Smash Brothers.
Yeah, they're going to. Here's what I want. All they gotta do. Put Smash for Wii U on the Switch.
No.
Cloud is in that game, Joe.
No, I do not want a rehash of the same shit.
I do.
No.
Nobody played that game.
I am completely against the whole deluxe version on the Switch.
They will never get Cloud in another Smash Brothers game again. I need my Final Fantasy. No, not going to happen. Have you seen the trailer of Cloud versus Link? Not the trailer. That sick-ass artwork they did.
Death Battle?
Dude. The fact that Cloud is in that game made me turn on my Wii U for like a whole 2 weeks, and now it's right there in the corner collecting dust.
If it was on the Switch, Cloud, play that game.
I want it on my Switch. I want it on my 10-hour flight next month, Joe. I want to basically Mario.
Can you imagine? Instead of playing it on the DS where it looks.
I don't want to play it on the SDS.
I
don't ever want to play my DS again. Cloppy. Fire Emblem next year will make me happy.
Didn't they just make a Fire Emblem?
They make one every year.
Oh, they do?
Yeah. Okay. But this one was a remake, and the next year's one is like a big Switch one, like an actual like graphics. People have feet in the new one.
They see their toes.
Yeah.
I just want them to be able to actually make like more content. I don't want to pay for the same game. I mean, not that I did anyway for the Wii U. I don't have one. But I want there to be like a significant update to the game.
Joe, here's the problem. Smash for Wii U is basically the perfect Smash Bros. Game, with the exception of there not being a story mode. If
Oh,
and
well,
now
then add
if
the story mode.
all I want is
But you didn't
all of
I thought
those
you didn't
characters.
like this story mode in.
True, but it gave you something to do in single player.
I
Like
know.
if I don't want to play
And
alone, what else am I
then
gonna do in
and
Smash
then
Bros?
you get the characters quick.
I actually no. Bring back Melee's Adventure Mode, and I'm happy. But no,
Oh,
yes.
like what I want, even if it's not Smash Deluxe, like it could just be that if they can manage to keep all those characters, like all those crazy fucking characters. They had Ryu from Street Fighter, motherfucking Bayonetta's in that game, Joe. How'd they get Bayonetta in a family-friendly Nintendo game? Her power is to take off her clothes, Joe. Like, they have Cloud in that. Like, yo, I don't even know who else. There's all kinds of crazy shit.
I remember you lost your shit. You texted me when I just got out of work. You're like, Cloud's in Smash Bros. I was like, no fucking way.
Fucking way.
I was like, I looked it up.
And then
I
you're
looked
like,
up as soon as you showed me the link.
dude,
I was like,
Cloud
fuck.
stage in that fucking
Is
game.
Midgar.
It's fucking Midgar. But this Rama comes in, Bahamut swoops in, fucking breeds fucking Mega. Yo, we're playing Smash Brothers right now. Let's go. Podcast over.
No.
Oh, wait, no. Can't do that right now.
Wait, wasn't Mega Man in there also?
Mega Man's in the fucking game, Joe.
He's
Mega
not
Man
even,
11
no,
comes
he's
out
not even
next
DLC.
year.
He's actually in the game.
He's
Yeah.
actually in the game. You have to pay extra for Mega Man.
And
Now-
Goku.
No, that wasn't Goku. That was the Wii version. I showed you my modded Wii Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Okay, you can mod Super Smash Bros. on the Wii. But I had I think I had Osama bin Laden versus Goku at some point.
What?
I think I did that because you can mod, like, someone modded Osama bin Laden like to have Snake's moves, so he was planting bombs and shit. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
That is
it's
bad.
fucked up. I know.
Snake of all people.
It's fucked up. I know. It's so funny. Oh my god. I gotta break out the fucking modded Switch, dude. The modded Wii. I mean, oh fuck. Oh, that's a good stream right there. Modded Smash Bros. But no, fuck. Just give me a new Smash game. But just Nintendo keep those licenses for Cloud. That's not gonna be there forever. Use it again.
Sephiroth, then.
No, fuck it. Give us both. Give me Cloud and Sephiroth, and then just make it a Final Fantasy fighting game, and then just name it Dissidia.
Wait,
That's another one.
Dissidia!
Yeah, that's another one.
I forgot about that.
I can't wait for Dissidia. They have you seen the newest trailer for that game?
No, I got.
Lightning and Noctis were talking to each other.
Were they really?
Yeah, they're probably gonna fuck.
I gotta.
I mean,
I gotta learn the controls in that because I feel like
the controls are a little weird.
I feel like I did not know. Well, I never played.
It's different than the PSP ones.
I never
too.
played. I never played Dissidia in my life. So.
It's good. That game looks fucking fantastic too.
Yeah.
All right.
When we played at E3, I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
We were not at E3, Nick. We were at Comic Con.
I'm sorry. I wish we were at E3.
I wish we were at E3. Is there anything else we're forgetting?
I think that's
Pretty much it.
pretty much it. We hit our notes.
We hit our notes. We trashed Destiny. I trashed Destiny. We trashed Mario Odyssey of all games.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah, I mean,
You didn't really trash
there's gripes with it. There's gripes. So Joe, this time next year, what do you think we're gonna be saying is our game of the year? One choice only, from the games that we know about.
Probably Monster Hunter.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Like, there's other things that
I feel like we're gonna play that quite a bit, so that's what I'm just gonna go with. I think so.
I'm in agreement, Nick.
I want to go with Monster Hunter or
I'm gonna say Monster Hunter, the odd choice out.
or Kingdom Hearts. I was like
That possible.
I think.
Wait, I said only one choice, Nick. One choice.
Oh, don't make me choose.
You're choosing.
Fuck you.
You're choosing.
Fine.
I chose Monster Hunter over Metroid Prime 4, Nick.
I'll have to go with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ooh, he's not playing Monster Hunter with us, this guy.
I mean, I'm not gonna play. Hey, I could be wrong. I'd say that's my prediction. I'm not saying it's definitely gonna be Game of the Year.
Now, Nick,
that's my prediction.
What if Sora cameos in the new Monster Hunter game?
That's not gonna happen.
Mega Man's in it, Nick.
He is.
What?
You could turn your cat into Mega Man.
If my guy can,
if
my
not.
hunter can use a Keyblade, somewhat weapon, that would be sick.
Nick, in Monster Hunter, like I think 4, you could turn your hunter into Samus.
What?
Samus Aran.
Can you shoot a Mega? Not
Yes,
I said Mega.
you
Can
can.
you shoot? Can you shoot a can?
I
Yeah, but
promise
that was
you
on
can.
Nintendo system.
I know, and
so-
that's the one thing I'm gonna miss is all the
Yeah.
Nintendo shit.
Yeah.
All right. This has gone on long enough. This is an hour and 6 minute.
I hope people.
A much shorter one than ours.
It's shorter than the last one. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I have less to complain about. I didn't want to talk about EA for that one, but we still talked about it for like 20 minutes. Well, closing thoughts. We're back. It's good to be back. Monster Hunter's going to be sick. Dragon Ball Super, we're the next thing that we're excited for Dragon Ball Super, I think, it goes without saying, it's going to be the Vegeta episode.
Versus Jiren, yes.
It's going to happen.
I mean, I want to see the Megazord.
I don't care about the Megazord.
Megazord.
Here's what's going to happen to that Megazord. They've showed Gohan a lot in that fucking thing. If he knocks Gohan out, I quit. Gohan dies, I riot.
Okay.
Gohan is eliminated, we riot.
Okay.
What?
No, like you said, Gohan is eliminated, we riot.
Yeah, Gohan is... No, you can't do that. But the Vegeta Jiren fight has Mr. Yuya Takahashi on the animation. So that is the same animator as the two best looking episodes in the entire show's history. The Jiren Goku fight and the Kefla Goku fight. This fight does not have Goku in it.
Good.
I know, it's weird.
Fucking
watch Jiren and Vegeta got the fight. Goku fucking like,
what the hell's
I
Goku
got this.
gonna do?
Goku's fucking dead right now. He's not.
Oh,
he shouldn't be able to move.
He's knocked out again.
But we know he's gonna be blue next episode. No, I don't want to get into this. I can't. But
Shush.
But
it's not the platform.
No, it's not. But I'm hyped for that. I'm planning to be hyped for that for the video we make on it. That's a weird sentence to say, but it's gonna be awesome. Vegeta has not done shit this tournament. It's gonna be sick. Joe, what else you got to say in this podcast as a closing thought? I brought it back to Dragon Ball. I know.
Yeah,
And Dragon Ball Fighter is gonna be sick.
I don't know what to say.
He doesn't know what to say.
You fucking put the spotlight on me, like...
That's how I do... Joe, is that not how I transition everything to you? I'm like, I'm like talking blah, 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 blah. What do you think, Joe? That's just how I do it.
That's how he does it.
I'm a fucking host.
But, yeah, that's...
Doesn't have to be Dragon Ball related. Just be like, yo, it's, peace.
Peace
homies.
be with you. I don't know.
And also with you.
No,
Kamehameha be with you. And also with you. No one can see what you're doing.
We need a camera next time.
No cameras.
Oh, come
We're too ugly.
I'm not.
Subscribe for more podcasts monthly. What? I forgot to ask Nick.
Nothing.
Nick, what you got?
Do your close out.
Closing thoughts, Nick. Closing thoughts.
I have no closing
He
thoughts.
doesn't have closing thoughts.
All right. Follow us on Twitter at Clan Geek and Top Hat Raichu. Nick doesn't have one.
That Gamer Tom.
That Gamer Tom on YouTube. Joe DeviantArt. Cola.
X-Player MK.
Thank you. I thought it was like Cola King or something. Cola King. It's a fucking great name too.
Cola King.
But yeah, expect videos. Wednesday streams, baby.
Wednesday stream.
Yeah. Bye.